Do you consider yourself being an empath? Do you know what it means? Or maybe you are one, but you don't know what are the signs of it? Let's clarify it and let's talk about it. Welcome to Mystery Teachings. My name is Gergő. I hope you are doing well. I hope you feel amazing. And if you are new to the channel, then welcome, greetings, and namaste. Or if you are a returning viewer or returning beautiful soul, then hey, thanks for coming back. I appreciate you. And welcome to episode number 37, 10 signs that you're an empath. So first of all, what is an empath or who is an empath? Here is some definitions from Google. It says, number one who has the ability to sense emotions. With other words, the ability to understand the feeling of others. And the second one is a person with extrasensory empathic ability capable of sensing the emotions of others around them in a way unexplained by conventional science and psychology. So that's a good explanation. And that's why I'd like to give you 10 signs to clarify it a little bit further. I wouldn't consider myself an empath, although there are many signs that are true in my life and with my personality and who I am, but I don't consider myself one, and it's also because I don't really like to label things and label myself as this or that. But it doesn't mean that I cannot be an empath, or maybe you are one. So let's clarify these signs. And the number one is that they know when someone is lying. And that's absolutely me. This is my life. This is one of my strongest skills since I was a child. Whether if I talk to someone I know really well or I talk to a stranger, I can sense if they don't tell me the truth, or if the story they tell me, I can feel that something is not okay with it. There is some lie here or there, or something is not okay. And that's usually a good red flag for me. And in my life, it was always a good indication. If I felt that someone is not telling me the truth, for some reason they lied to me, I took it as a red flag, and it always turned out to be the right decision, the correct decision. So that's number one. They know when someone is lying. Number two is that they can feel toxic energy approaching. I was talking about toxic people in a previous video, but when it comes to being an empath, they can really feel when different energies are approaching, because they are really sensitive to the emotion of others. So they can obviously feel it. That's the second sign. The third sign is that they are extremely connected to their partner's emotions. That's again true in my life. Always feeling very close and very connected to my partner. But again, I don't consider myself an empath, but maybe I am. That's not the point of this video, and I'm not here to decide that. But if you feel that you are really, really connected to your partner's emotions, and you can feel, even if they're not with you, you can feel if they are happy, you can feel if something bad happened to them. You know, there are a lot of stories about it that even on the other side of the world, you give a phone call and it turns out that something happened. You know, there are many stories with this. So it's because they might be an empath, or you might be an empath if you are connected to your partner's emotions. Number four is that people who are empathic, they need a lot of time alone to recharge. And that's because they pick up a lot of people's energy and emotions, and it's true in my life, but it's interesting that I feel emotions of others, I feel the energy of others, but I don't pick it up as it was mine. So I can work as a shield, let's say this way, and not to allow those energies to be soaked by me or by my body and just feel differently, because there are people around me who feel differently, if that makes sense. So they need a lot of time to be alone in order to recharge. And I mentioned this before, there's a big difference between loneliness and aloneness, because loneliness comes from the place where you feel like no one cares. Nobody cares about you. That's loneliness. But aloneness is consciously deciding to spend time with yourself only in order to recharge. That's a healthy process. That's a good process. And that's kind of a spiritual process. So time alone to recharge, that's a sign that you might be an empath. Number 5 is that they are extremely hard to manipulate, almost impossible to manipulate, because of what I said earlier, because they can feel it, they can sense it, they can smell it. And when it comes to manipulation and someone suggests, oh, let's do this, oh, let's do it this way, and they're like, hey, hold on, no. That's not okay. I cannot resonate with that, sorry. So they are really, really hard to manipulate and almost impossible. If that's the case with you, then you might be an empath. That's number 5. And then number 6 is that they are very comfortable in nature. I know that everyone can be comfortable in nature because nature is good for us, simply as simple as it is. But they are even more comfortable because that's where they can be alone, and the sound of the nature, the birds around tweeting, and you know, just a little bit of wind is gently moving the trees and the leaves around you, butterflies flying here and there. That's a really, really healthy way for people who are empath to recharge, and therefore they feel very, very comfortable in nature, much more than others. They are the ones, you know, who just get a backpack and go hiking, and they spend a week somewhere, you don't even know where, because they turn off their phone and they just go, and then they call you after a week that, hey, don't worry, I'm fine, I just had my journey. And as I said, it's often a spiritual journey as well, and part of the spiritual awakening to go to, let's say, a hiking tour. So that's number 6, very, very comfortable in nature. Number 7 is that they try to avoid crowded places, which comes from number 6 quite obviously. For the simple reason that they pick up other people's energy and they can sense other people's emotions. Therefore, sometimes they try to avoid crowded places in order to avoid being overwhelmed. So that's number 7. Number 8, you might be an empath if you find it difficult not to care about others. And again, this is something we all do. We all care about others, but people who are empath, they feel it really difficult, almost impossible not to care about others, since they pick up their emotions, since they know how they feel, so it comes automatically with some level of caring towards one another. So that's number 8. Number 9 is that they have a high sensitivity to sounds and smells. Just as they have high sensitivity to feeling emotions, they feel the same towards sounds and smells. And I can tell you good examples from my life when people smell certain things that I cannot smell, and they like that, how can you not smell it? It's like in the air. And I'm like, I don't know, I just don't. And I could tell you examples, and I'm sure you have examples in your life, but sounds and smells around, they are super sensitive to them. That's a sign that they might be an empath, or if it's you, then it's you. And then number 10, they often feel like they don't fit in. They just don't fit in the crowd, they don't fit into society, because even though they feel the emotions of others, that doesn't mean that they also relate to others. They don't. They feel them, but they cannot relate to them, or they cannot resonate with that. Usually that's the case, or most of the time that's the case. Therefore, they feel like they don't fit in. Have you ever felt like you just don't find your place? Or maybe you are the one who's the black sheep in your family because you think and see and understand everything completely differently compared to everybody else. And that's a sign that you might be an empath. So I don't know about you, and as I said, I don't want to decide even about myself, But if it's something that's interesting for you, I hope this list helps you, and I hope you got some value from this video, so it was worth it to record it. And obviously feel free to share it, drop me a comment, and make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can get notified whenever I upload a new video. Thanks for watching. I love you all. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you next time. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.